What's up, everybody? It's Dynasty Mir, Search for Uhuru. Thank you so much for joining us. Today's topic, on this 4th of July, which I don't celebrate, I celebrate Juneteenth. But today's topic, I have the brother Ezeji Tobias Ogu on with us. And we're going to be speaking on how African culture is being reduced to nonsense by criminal pastors. Now, Ogu, let me ask you this. Why do Africans demonize their indigenous religion so much? Like, why is that? We can start off there.
Oh, because we were colonized by the British and brainwashed by the British. For example, from this is oral history, okay, from my father, what I have from my father. I cannot say it's written, but oral. And that is exactly what I do pass on to my children, oral history. My father told me that they used to have, Jesus Christ, Mary, some in molded in gold, diamonds. You know what I'm saying? Gold and diamonds. And use them, put them as statues, and use them to pray to their God, what they call Chukwuabiama, that is God of Abraham.
Right.
So when the colonists came in, they said, oh, they were practicing paganism, that they should discard it and everything like that. So they started throwing them away, but throwing them away, the white man took those things, made with gold and diamonds and other precious resources, and they came back, returned with white Jesus, you are calling white Jesus, something made with wood, telling them that this Christianity, they need to adopt, they need to forget about paganism or other idols that they claimed that they were worshiping at the time. So because of that, things have changed drastically. And you see all Africans, what happens in African countries, just copy and paste. When one thing happens in Nigeria, another African country will copy it, another one will copy it. It's all over. So you see all these mad pastors, because they have been colonized, they have adopted Christianity, and they put their own sense, their own evil things, evil ways of deceiving women, especially. Remember, in African country, all of them, a woman, her pride is her virginity. That's her pride. You don't mess with it. That's her hope in life. And when you go there, or you try to rape her, if people catch you, if they catch you, you're going to be a dead person. That is it. And it's all over in African countries. There's nothing like calling police. And these young girls, these women rely on that, because if you mess them up, nobody marries them. That's the culture. For example, you want to marry Miss A. And before you marry, you're going to be in agreement with your mom. And your mom going to send what they call middlemen or finder to go and find out about the conduct of the woman you want to marry. And whether she has been virgin and other stuff in it. And they take it seriously. And if they did, or they go there and find out that, oh, this is wrong, the lady won't be married again. The guy is going to reject the lady. So these pastors are praying on these young women because they say, okay, please help me. Let me pray to my God. Let me get a good Allah. Okay. They know that certainly that these young girls, they know very, very well. So what happened when these young girls, they are gullible, very weak, very, very weak. And these are the people they have, put them right here at the top in the community. They respect them, they honor them. Oh, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. That's what they say. Yes, sir, kneel down, they kneel down, quick, without even asking any question. So these trash pastors in Nigeria, knowing fully well that nobody will question them, nobody will even try them, because from top of the government of Nigeria, they are doing the same thing to the bottom. They are talks. So when they grab these women, they devirgin them, they mess them up. Now, remember, someone, somewhere, we hear it. And the news will fly like hellfire. I mean, everywhere. That, look at, check this person, the daughter of this person, the daughter of this person has been divergent. The news will start spreading. And the guys, when they want to go and marry, when they hear it, boom. Especially mother, like my mom. My mom hears that that lady has been divergent and I'm going to marry her. It's not going to happen. She's going to say, no way. She's not coming to my kitchen. You see, we have a culture. But these pastors are using religion to make mockery of our religion, of our culture, customs, everything. And it's so sad that nobody is looking into these cases. Nobody is to answer any question, like this pastor being accused now, Koza. And you can see, if you look at the video, the lady is telling the truth. What happened? And I can tell you, the lady has only said 2% of what happened to her. I'm telling you, if here in America, the lady will be brought by the agents, they will just try to work with her and she's going to tell the whole story. Because she is coming out right now because her marriage is in trouble. Maybe the mother of the husband or whatever, they have been hearing that, you need to go and do DNA test to make sure they have been sending, tweet message and Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Oh, try to check them. Oh, check your daughter, check your this. If they know that you are the father. This is how everything gets.
Oh, okay. So you think she's coming out this information because and again, guys, let me say this: we're not trying to minimize. In fact, tell everybody what we're discussing, Mr. Ogu.
Well, what we're discussing is a rape allegation by a Nigerian celebrity. Her name is Bosala Kolo, and she's a photographer. And the pastor that she respected, honored, that wedded them, she's saying that at the age of 16, as a minor, that the pastor came to her house and raped her, and she kept quiet. And on several occasions that the pastor did the same thing. So the lady right now has a husband with 3 kids, but it seemed to me that the marriage is about to unravel and the marriage is about to go down. I think the news came to the husband and the husband started tweeting, sending out messages to the church, to the pastor, and the lady had to come out to tell the husband the truth about what went on with her. Otherwise, the marriage is just completely over. So this is, I believe, her effort to fight back, to keep her marriage, keep her children with the husband, keep them together.
Lola in the chat room says that her marriage is not under threat. It has nothing to do with her marriage.
Okay, but I'm trying to tell you facts that are coming from Nigeria, because people are questioning why now, 16 years, 20 years ago, why didn't she come earlier? Because right now, remember, some people are saying that the pastor, because the lady wanted to come out and the pastor gave her some gifts, or I don't know, kind of cars or whatever, but still, the danger is still there. Mm-hmm. So she had to come out. The truth had to come out now to defend herself, to say the truth, to keep her marriage. That is what is going on now.
Now, where exactly is the church? Do you know? Is it in Lagos?
The church is Lagos, Abuja. They have it all over the place, and and I believe they say that there's a connection to some pastors here in America.
Okay.
With that church, yes, those pastors go there and they teach him all this rubbish, how to pray and see spirit or whatever. That's what I'm hearing from Nigeria. So, I mean, I can't doubt. I mean, I do believe there's something going on like that.
Now, there's a bit huge. I always see it when I head to Oshobo. It's in Ogun State. It's a huge church. I mean, it's like a city. They own like damn near a city in Ogun State.
Yeah,
do you know?
The church is everywhere. The church is in Lagos, Ogun State, Lagos, Abuja, everywhere. It's a very big choice set up by this guy, and this guy is all and all. He doesn't. I don't think he has a board of directors. I don't think he has a church committee or council, and he is all and all, and he makes the whole decision by himself. You know what I'm saying? So he is very crazy with it. And there's another lady that just came out right now, and she said she does not want her face to be shown, her name to be mentioned. She is just describing similar case, similar story with Bola Busola.
Now, is the pastor gonna get? I mean, is he still the pastor of the church? Did he get let go yet, or is he above the law? Like, what's going on with the pastor?
That is the problem with Nigeria, with African countries. Nobody is above the law, but people in authority in Nigeria, they believe they are exempted from the law. Poor people are the people that obey the law in Nigeria. Now, with his connection, and he's not going to be prosecuted. The only thing I said, okay, right now he claimed to have stepped down, and the next day, people went there. He was preaching to those believers in the church. They forced him to step down, and he stepped down. He claimed to have stepped down, but the next day he was preaching. You see what I'm saying? So who is going to bear the cut? I'm trying to tell you now, nothing's going to come out of it. It has happened in Nigeria because the person in the hem of a face, let me tell you, since independence, people who have ruled Nigeria don't have it. They're not educated. That is why the country is the way it is. That's why we cannot manufacture anything in the world. Even common mistake, we can make. Those guys that can make these things there in Nigeria can manufacture car parts. I have guys right there.
Well, you have Innocent. They make cars in Nigeria.
No, Innocent is innocent. What the guy is doing, they are trying to even close his business. Remember, they are trying to close his business now. He is doing assembly, not manufacturing car parts. I'm talking about manufacturing. Manufacturing car parts. What he's doing there is assembly. I'm trying to say that we don't have the capability to manufacture anything because of the people at the top, because they're not educated. They don't have it right here. And be honest with you. So this case now, they are going to sweep it under the rug. And that is a fact with Nigeria. And the only, I may advise the lady, she may go to our king or Eze or something like that. That's where I believe she may get justice. But with the government set up by the British, their criminal government set up by the British masters, she's not going to get any justice anywhere in Nigeria. I get me? Because the people that are going to judge, the people that are going to be referees, they are doing the same thing, even worse than the pastor. So how is she going to get justice? And the order. And I've heard this morning, I had 50 to 100 women. And they are afraid to come out because majority of them are not married. Remember, if any girl that is not married, you don't come out like that to talk. You better hide yourself. That's the way the culture is. If they hear that the pastor touched you, you're not gonna find it easy to get a husband in the culture.
Let me ask you: is it? But there has to be a way where these women are protected and can come out and tell their story so they can get justice.
Well, that's what I'm trying to tell you. That is the only way I'm saying is they go to the king, go to the Eze, go to the chief, go to the people, our traditional rulers. That is the people that can protect them and give the true story and find a way out. But with the government establishment, British establishment, corrupt, evil, she is not. I'm telling you. Now, you can see a lot of people, they said, oh, why did she go there? Why did she there? She didn't go anywhere. The pastor drove to her house. They don't want to see that, oh, it happened 20 years ago. Why did he do? Why? She's a young lady. Now, I'm suspecting for the fact that she did not disclose this to the husband. Now, the husband has come to know this. That's what put her marriage shaky, right? That's why the marriage is shaky right now.
Are you sure? But okay, now, Ogu, Mr. Ogu, are you sure that this is causing a rift in the marriage? Let's deal with facts now.
I'm just telling you facts. I'm getting from Nigeria. I'm telling people, why now? Why now? Why didn't you come out at the age of 17, 18, 19 to tell your story?
Let me ask you, Mr. Ogu, what should be the statute of limitations on rape? Like, I think that's the problem, that if a woman doesn't come out in a certain amount of time, that she shouldn't be considered, I guess, credible. And I think that's the problem.
Okay.
Like, why? I got to get a woman on here. See, we need to get a woman on here. If you're a woman, and if you want to come on here, because I think it's better to hear from a woman versus us two men. If you're a woman, send me an email and I'll let you on. You could join the conversation, because I can't really speak on behalf of a woman, because I'm not a woman. And rape is something that shouldn't be taken lightly, and women should be able to come out and let people know without being treated as if they're causing a problem to they shouldn't be criminalized and they're the ones that have been raped. It's like sometimes we criminalize the woman and they're the victim. You know what I mean? So I would like a woman to come on. My email's in the chat. If you want to come on, send me an email. I'll send you the link. But go ahead, Mr. Ogu.
But that's what I'm trying to tell you. The women are criminalized. They are ashamed. They don't want to come out to say this, because many of them are not married. They don't want to come out at all. Even you put no matter the amount of money you give them, they will never. They are hiding.
Let me ask you, does she have brothers? Like, can she her brothers go beat this pastor's ass? Like, what? I mean,
okay. What did the brother do?
I'm saying, if she has a brother or a father or uncles, I would think she could tell them, and then they go beat the pastor's ass. I know they can go beat the pastor's ass in Nigeria. I know they can. But go ahead.
Yeah, but what saved the pastor was the lady did not call the villagers about rape. The pastor would have found himself in the grave by now. You should have been in the grave by now. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Now, when he started preaching to the brother, then went to the dad, everything was smoothed off and put under the rug. That is the society we live in. The parent, they will be talking to the parent. The parent, oh, don't do this. He's a pastor, man of God. They believe in nonsense. But the girl is crying inside her. She's crying. In crying, she has lost her virginity. She, who's gonna, girls now. Who's gonna marry me? If people hear it now, the news is gonna spread all over the place. All these things are problems that are not being addressed in Nigeria, and the reason because the people from the president, so-called president of Nigeria, to the bottom of the government, they are doing the same thing. All of them. Tell me, name one person in Nigeria, in the government, that's not doing the same thing. No. So how is she gonna get justice? So we don't live in a society whereby there is statute of limitation like America. There's this or that. No. These guys, they go around preaching gospel, preaching nonsense. They don't know God. Remember, most of these guys with Bible, they didn't even pass elementary 6 or high school. They are school dropouts.
Right.
What they did was to go and memorize British English, the way we were taught, memorize British English, thinking that if you speak good English, you are smart. English is a language. That is what we believe, what men taught us. So they carry the Bible. So they don't have anything here than to lie, to deceive. And I can tell you, myself, I'm on a den shepherd. Okay? I'm on a den shepherd. I do the will of the Father in heaven. I don't preach the gospel. I use my own resources to do the will of the Father in heaven. My own resources. Okay? Now, what do we say? Oh, this person who is doing a lot of good things. A lot of good things with whose money? The pastor is using the resources of church goers. Even some of the church members come to church barefooted. They don't have money to buy shoes, slippers to wear. They will contribute with those money. These guys will use it to buy plane, helicopter, Versace, Gucci, all these nonsenses. Be talking rubbish. They don't know God. These guys don't know God. They only brainwash these young girls, believing that they themselves are God, not God the Almighty, that they are the dad. They deceive them.
Whoa,
That
hold
they,
on. I want to respond. Nenid Africa. A lot of these pastors are not educated. Absolutely not. That's. I don't agree with that. A lot of these, like you said, they're especially here in America. Some of them are ex-criminals. Uh, you know, barely are even not didn't even graduate high school. You know, they just have a get the game and a Bible. If you have a mouthpiece and a Bible, like if I went to Nigeria, I mean, if I go to Nigeria, anywhere in Africa, if I go and open up a church, I'll be a millionaire in a month.
yes,
Give me a Bible and let me go open up a church in anywhere in Africa, I will be a millionaire in a month. So, but I'm educated, but a lot of these pastors, the majority of these pastors are not educated at all.
I don't. No, they're
I mean,
not.
they're educated, but they're not formally educated as far as college, or even like you said, barely graduated high school, or not, or didn't even graduate high school at all. But go ahead.
Do you know the worst? The worst part of it. These so-called pastors, they go to voodoo traditional.
Yeah. Let me.
They,
Cut.
go,
So
they go to
the
them.
bush. They go to the bush at night. No, I tell you, they go to the bush. They go to the. I'm sorry. When I mean bush, I'm being sincere. But they go to the villages at night, and they sit
Yes,
down with the babalaos, the voodoo priest, the Ifa
yes,
priest, and they
yes,
do ritual to trick to trick the normal person. So they do a ritual so they could grow their congregation.
exactly.
So they could
That
grow
is
their
what they do.
congregation. Then they go
Yeah,
to church on Sunday and they say how evil the traditional religion is, but then they go to the
yes,
traditional priest to help them do juju to grow their congregation. All right, go ahead.
exactly. What you're saying is what is happening. Exactly. In the night, you see them camouflaging themselves, going to the juju priest, going to one kind of traditional herbalist, one thing or the other, begging, kneeling down. Even some of them, the traditional people will tell them, pull off your clothes, come with this, come with that. They will dance it naked. A pastor, imagine how you turn around the next day in the church, you'll be preaching gospel and you'll be condemning them that what they're doing, they're watching, they're practicing paganism, all kinds of. Hello,
Yeah, I'm here.
are you
We
with
got
me? Okay.
we got Sister Muhammad on too.
So they are talking, saying one thing in the church and doing another thing behind the scene. So then they use it to deceive these young girls. That many of them.
Hold on. Sister Muhammad, your I don't know, your phone or your mic is like rubbing against your shirt, and you know, it's just a lot of this background noise. But go ahead, Mr. Ogu.
Yeah. So remember, some of these young girls, young ladies, they go to the pastor, pray to God, for me to God, so that I can get good husband, I can get somebody I can live with. Pray to God. I mean, that's why they go to them. Many of them for this reason. Not to go to division them, not to go to divide them, not to go to abuse them, not to go. These guys, they are dogs. All of them in Nigeria. Listen, if you see the kind of number of churches in Lagos, you will run away. Every building in Lagos has a church.
Hold on, Miss Muhammad, you're it's like not a background noise or wind or I don't know where you're at. Can you hear me, Miss Muhammad?
I can hear you. I'll mute myself.
Okay. All right. Go ahead, Mr. Ogu.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is something needs to be done. Like as I said before, we can get African American born here in this country, that we can go to Africa and change it, make a difference. I know that the people at the top, they know their game because they are playing with. They are being supported, supply arm by the British to press down brilliant Africans from coming up to build Africa. That is exactly what is happening in Nigeria, right? Because as I told you before, this nonsense will be going on in Nigeria if brilliant Nigerians are in the helm of affairs. The country won't be the same it is right now. We are down completely because thugs and hoodlums, creeps, the blood, they are on top. They don't think. The white man gives them gun to go and kill their fellow brother. They go, boom. That's what they do. So how can you address some of these social issues? For example, this church issue we're talking about right now. I'm devastated. You know what I'm saying? Some of these, they're saying that some of the ladies are talking different. Some of them are calling me here, telling me this and that and that. And that. Why can't you come out? No? Why can't you come out? If he did this to you, why can't you come out right now? No way. Because I know why. Because I was born there. I know the culture. I know the custom. They are protecting themselves. They don't want to come out. They don't want to be, their faces even to be shown. So who is going to give them judgment? As I said, nobody. Watch. This matter is going to be swept underneath the rug. And it has happened. They said that it has happened over and over and over again. This matter, same thing. So what I can say is, until we have a government in Nigeria, these young women will never get justice.
Miss Muhammad, is there something you want to add? And guys, hit that like button when you come to the chat room. Please hit that like button. Go ahead, Miss Muhammad. Miss Muhammad.
Okay. Am I unmuted?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, in the topic of rape, and I think you did mention, you don't want to victim blame. And I'm sure none of us want to, but as women, when rape is the issue, even before that happens, we have to be mindful of how we carry ourselves and what we're doing. And I'll use Bill Cosby's situation as an example. The women who targeted him, the ones who were going up to his hotel room, taking money from him over the years, a lot of people said they were the victims. I don't agree. That was something that they did purposely. If someone raped you, you're traumatized, you don't want anything to do with them, but you're going to the man's house and taking money for years.
And not only taking money, you're snorting his dope, smoking his dope.
Exactly. Yeah. So in a situation like that, that's not rape. Mm-hmm. But I mean, that's the West viewed it as that, and I think it's unfortunate because even as young girls, Dinah, you were a teenager once, and I'm sure you had some female friends. Their mothers gave them the info early on, 15, 16. If you don't want to be caught up in no mess, why are you up in a man's hotel room in the middle of the night anyway? What does he want to do? Play jacks with you?
Right.
Why are you there? So as women, we have to be mindful of how we move in society. So if you take a long time coming out, of course, you're going to look suspect a little bit. But I understand sometimes women are afraid. But if you're going to stand on your square and you know that was injustice, speak out on it or have someone do it on your behalf. But when you wait for a while, it seems suspect. Because all those women that were coming out against Bill Cosby, it's funny that they all did it at one particular time. Right, yeah, nobody came out. He was rich way back then too. They could have took his ass to the bank, but they waited for all these years and decided to do it at once. No. So as a woman, when you're dealing with rape, it's important how you move in society anyway. So that's why as ladies, we have to be careful about our activity, about what we do. And with African culture, I move a lot around in West African culture. And sometimes it's difficult to break that. It's very hard. So when they're constantly blaming the women, that's an issue. Because I'm of the mindset that nobody can take you closer to God than you can take yourself. So if you got a pastor as your intercessor, you don't need that. His relationship, he can't take a prayer to God better than you can on your behalf. So I don't understand why people put all this faith and trust in pastors when you're just as closest to the Creator as he is. Probably closer when concerning yourself. So I think if we got rid of that, I think we would do a lot better.
Anything you want to add to that, Mr. Ogu?
Uh-huh. Come back one more time. You said what?
Anything you want to add to that?
Yeah. Well, sister, I can say what the analysis you gave now from American perspective, but I was born in Nigeria. I know the culture, I know the custom. Yes, that is what my mom told us completely. If you're a girl, don't go to a man's house. You don't know. You don't go to a stranger's house, especially a man. And I do believe these young girls in Nigeria, in Africa, don't. They find it difficult to go by themselves to a man's house, especially unmarried women. They don't. Many of them. I know that because they know the consequences. Even if nothing happened, for the fact that you went there, somebody saw you, people, they are going to talk. And the minute they start talking, you find it difficult to get a husband. I'm telling you, because I mean, like my mother, hearing that, oh, you are diverging, and my mother, she's not gonna stand there to see the marriage go through. Never. That's how mothers in Africa, how they think, how they believe, and how they behave, how they act. I'm telling you facts now. And that is the reason these girls, they are not coming out. When it happens, they will never tell anybody. They will keep to themselves the evil perpetrated against them. So, I mean, something needs to be done in Nigeria, especially in Nigeria, to save these young people, because the people we have, they are not good, or not like a Big Cosby. The Big Cosby issue is these are grown-up women looking for money. They want to grab money from Bill Cosby. Okay, they are grown up. They are looking for money. These young girls in Africa, they are not. They are looking for what? Prayer. Oh, I get a good husband.
You can pray at home.
Huh?
You can pray. They can pray at home. They don't need to go to a man.
I know, but
prayer.
But that's what they believe in. Going to a pastor.
Okay, you know what? We have a culture in America where pastors, sometimes they're considered to be pimps. And a lot of the areas in the U.S. we say pastor, and it's like pimping here. And it seems like that's crept over to Africa. I mean, somebody needs to come out and call it what it is. Because if you're a genuine man of God, it's not your place to disrupt the souls of God's people. That shouldn't be your job. That shouldn't be your aim. So somebody has to call that out for what it is, and still have respect for the culture. You can do it that way. But these people who are supposed to be of God, they cannot be allowed to do that. It's horrible. To me, it's more evil than anything.
And do you know, right now, I can tell you 85% or 90% of the time in Nigeria right now, a young girl can never, ever secure a job without the person on top sleeping with her.
Are you serious?
Yes, I'm serious. It's rampant. It's just what is going on now. And these girls, they are afraid. When you mess them up, the news will spread like wildfire. Oh, the boss, I did. You slept with her. That she is done. She is done. I'm telling you the culture. No young guy, no man will marry her because she has been divergent. And I'm trying to tell you, virginity in Africa is big, is huge. It's huge. That is why you don't mess with these girls. That's why that's their life. That is it. You know?
For some people, virginity is huge in America too. Like when my daughters wanted to start dating, you know what? They had to be chaperoned. I didn't allow them to go out on dates. My husband and I, we went along with them because I didn't want anybody touching my daughters. I mean, they may be tempted to touch a man too, but you know what? Y'all not going to touch each other. Y'all not going to have sex before it's time. And you're not going to tarnish her reputation because she didn't do what you wanted her to do. So I'm here so that doesn't happen. So if you got some shit to say at school or whatever, and she can say, no, well, my parents were there. I don't know how that happened. And it happens like all the time. My sons had to go through the same thing. You have to be chaperoned to protect your reputation and everything else. And people, I think Nigeria should, Africa has so many rich cultures. And a lot of us, it's my aim to go there and just blend in. And just sometimes if I move in the West African people don't even know I wasn't born here in Africa. They assume because I speak the language, I cook the food, I do all that. And so the culture should be so important for them to think, okay, we have to do something about this. This is damaging our people. The culture should be the top priority. And it appears that that's not the case, because if they're allowing the young women in the culture, women are just as important as men. We both have very big jobs. They're just different. A mother is just as important as a father and vice versa. And there's divinity in both of those positions. Mm-hmm. Now, when you defile the woman, you're messing with that. So if the Nigerian culture cannot see that you're messing with your culture, basically, when you allow that to happen, somebody needs to speak out on that on a large scale. Get that fixed.
Now, Mr. Ogu, I disagree with you in regards to the majority of women have to sleep with the boss in order to get a job in Nigeria or in Africa. I'm not buying that one.
Okay, you disagree with me. You go and disagree with listen. You go and do a research. For example, use a bank in Nigeria and see the number of ladies hired there, how they were messed up. Use bank. When you go to Lagos, I think you're traveling. When you go to Lagos, try to find out how did those girls, how did they get a job?
So Mr. Ogu, when I go to United Bank of Africa, UBA in Osogbo, and the women behind the teller and the women working customer service, the female tellers, you're trying to tell me that they had to sleep their way to become a teller?
Okay, I'm trying to tell you facts that you need to verify. Okay, you can disagree with me. Yes, I respect your disagreement. However, I'm trying to tell you, for a Nigerian lady, that's why a lot of people are not allowing their kids to go and look for a job in the bank. Oh, they will send those girls to be running errands, doing this, doing that. They are being messed up. I'm hearing quite a lot from a lot of stuff going on there, because we don't have a government that will address all this, because the government we have are just hoodlums. People from the bottom pit of the toilet, they are ruling Nigeria with the slave masters. We have been brainwashed.
Hold on one second.
Understand me.
He didn't say that. We're not going to put words in Mr. Ogu's mouth. He didn't say that. He's saying that women in, I guess,
I can't hear you. I can't hear you very well.
Women in corporate Africa have to sleep their way in order to get a job. And I disagree with that. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, because it happens here in corporate America too. But he's saying the majority of women, he's saying the majority of women.
Yes. Now,
I disagree with that. I completely disagree.
Okay, you disagree with me. I say I respect your disagreement, but I'm trying to tell you, I am the facts as it is today. As it is today, not only employment, but the government appointments. The government appointment, those ladies, commissioners, they have to sleep with the boss.
Ah, come on now, come on. You have no facts on that. You have no facts on that.
Well, I am telling you, you need to go and listen. Don't go to Nigeria and be talking to the people on top. Go and talk to the common people. I'm a common person. I'm on the ground. I'm somebody that was raised in the village. Okay, I was raised with little stuff like that. Okay, I'm not that from the big this and that. No, I'm somebody from the bottom, and I know what goes on. And I can tell you, when you meet people in my own class and my own level in Nigeria, they will tell you facts, what is going on in Nigeria. I'm telling you, not when you go to people in Abuja, oh, nothing happens. Oh, everybody is fine. Oh, no hunger in Nigeria. Oh, everybody is going to school. All this. They are lying to you. They are lying to you, my bro. Just pay attention. Go to common people. Go to the villages, communities. See, talk to the people. They will talk to you. I'm being honest with you, but you may disagree with me, but I respect it.
Okay. Fafu Malau, go ahead.
Greetings, peace, everyone. Oh, he's gone?
No, go ahead.
Well, I just want to speak on behalf of, I think, maybe all the women that have gone through what this lady has gone through. That one of my life's passions, my life purpose is dealing with male and female reproductive health, and focusing primarily on that of women. And along with that comes with me doing workshops and having a lot of intimate, open, one-on-one consultations with women. Because a lot of the conditions that they have come about from certain experiences that they have. Even some of the physical conditions like fibroids and stuff are brought about oftentimes by emotional guilt, often related to intimate relationships or sexual experiences and stuff. Why? Because, and food has a lot to do with it and everything too, but what plants the seed is something metaphysical or, mental. The mind and the body are connected. And I have yet to come across any woman that has been molested or raped that has said, "Oh, the moment it happened." Well, actually, that's a lie. There are a few women that say, "Yeah, they go and they tell their parents or they tell somebody," but what happens is that they don't believe them. Mommy says, "Oh, that's a lie," because she's not willing to enter a relationship for the sake of her daughter who's being molested per se by this person. That's one thing. Another thing is, I would say 7 out of 10 times, these girls are threatened. And it's usually not even a threat to them, or I'm going to do something. They're usually being told, "I'm going to kill your mom, I'm going to hurt your mom, or I'm going to tell the whole world that you did this." It usually comes along with a very convincing threat. There's fear injected at a core level. When you're molesting or raping or sexually assaulting a girl, especially in her innocence, you've opened up a portal. She becomes extremely vulnerable to not just the man that is entering her and doing these things, but everything else that he's saying to her. The psychological portals, everything opens. Okay? Now, the reason that, and this is consistent around the world, the reason that women do not say immediately when things like this happen is because 9.99% of the times, 99.99% of the times, the majority won't believe them. Or, like you said, they're outcasted and looked down upon. It's a matter of fear. There's a great amount of fear. Again, I'm just giving numbers. I would say about 7 out of every 10 women that I've spoken to have been unable to have a conversation with me about their experiences without crying and covering their faces. Okay? Like you said, if she were to have said, or if everybody knew what happened to her, nobody would want her. Now that part is false. It is not true that if it is revealed that you've been sexually assaulted, that no man will want you.
Well, Fafu Malao, if I can interject, in Africa, it might be a little bit different in some parts.
Well, that no man will want you?
Not no man, but it's definitely seen and viewed in a different light. And I could be wrong, but I think culture is different out there versus here in America.
Well, I mean,
you know that, but
Yoruba culture. I mean, I have friends that spoken to women from everywhere. Mm-hmm. So say the great majority, but that's why I said that no man. There's going to be somebody.
Okay, exactly. Okay.
It's a big, huge step to take, and no, the woman's not going to want to come out and say it. But the reason why I wanted to come on is to just say that I've been hearing things, I've been kind of following it, and from different sources. I really highly doubt, and based on what I hear, that the reason why she's only speaking up now is because of problems in her marriage or her trying to save her marriage. It kind of contradicts what was said prior to, if no man's going to want you, I don't want to go too deep into that because I do want to respect even not knowing her from a distance, that certain part of her life. But I just want to speak on the fact that majority of the time when a woman does not speak out on something like that, it's not necessarily to save face or to save a marriage, or it's a part of her healing, because you carry this guilt, you carry this thing with you for a very, very long time, and it haunts you, right? And so not until that woman has released this and found a way to bring it out, and get it, that is a part of the letting go, and hold the offender or the offenders responsible that self-healing can actually begin to take place as a part of self-forgiveness, because women start to feel guilty for a crime that they didn't commit. It was committed against them. Yet we found a way to become, and when I say we, I'm not talking about myself, I'm talking about women in the whole. When none of us are separate, you have to learn how to forgive yourself. You know what I'm saying? So I just highly doubt, and based on what I'm hearing and stuff too, is that I don't think she's only speaking up, to save her marriage and, to cast a shadow elsewhere. I think she's holding the guy.
I agree with you on that.
Yeah, she's holding him responsible, so that she can release this from her past and actually breathe in her marriage, because these things cause blockages in your relationships. So yeah, if she's talking to save her marriage, yeah, but for herself, so that she can be more open and comfortable. Most marriages or relationships, really committed and honest unions, between two people. The most common discussion that comes up is being completely open and honest with each other. And if you're going throughout your entire relationship always holding this dark secret, and you walk around with that guilt too, like, I'm hiding this from my husband, because incidents like that occur, they do cause psychological, they alter you a little bit, and it can cause you to behave a certain way. You have certain reactions and that are related to that, but your husband or your family or your friends or your mother or your father may not realize that. So when you're able to finally come out and speak about it, then it helps to resolve a lot. It go, oh, okay. So in that sense, if she's trying to save her marriage, in that sense, I can understand, because she's struggling maybe. But I just don't agree. I wanted to speak on behalf of that. I've spoken to hundreds of women, and it's because the story is consistent. Someone fit Ferrari fitness or something like that. Like it goes. He said that the pastor would send shooters to her house. Now, I don't know if this is factual with this particular pastor, but again, I did start off by saying a lot of times threats are involved. So you carry it. A lot of times you hold a secret because you're being threatened, or something of great value or sentiment is there to lose. Okay. And then there's the ridicule and the shame. No, you won't know unless you're a woman. You know what I'm saying? Some women just feel guilty for having their virginity broken, and they don't even, they feel guilty about that. And you know what I'm saying? No, right. So like you said, can a woman coming out ready, not to jump down anybody's throat and say, because I do know that for men, it can be hard to, to see it from a woman's perspective, because, it didn't happen to people, like, unless you experience it, I think, or you have, been the support system for someone or other people who have gone through it. It's really, really hard to try to comprehend why there's this silence and stuff. And then society makes up a bunch of excuses or stereotypes and these things to, breed more fear into it, So,
go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That's it. That's the main thing. You said something about the working and the having sex too.
What, Miss Muhammad, anything you want to add to that?
She made some very strong points, and one that stuck out to me was when she mentioned that if women say something, a lot of times they are not believed, and I find that to be true. It's kind of prevalent in the Black community. I've seen it several times, and we just have to start a culture of talking to our children when they're young. I know my husband was very protective of the daughters, and he used to tell them all the time, if somebody messes with you, don't be scared to tell me. I don't care what they tell you. Don't be scared to tell me. And I had to come with a similar conversation. If somebody touches you and they threaten me, I said, don't worry about that. I got me. You just come and let me know. And, and I hate to say this, but this kind of happened in my family. A family member, she's kind of like a feminist. And so she kind of blamed she said my husband sexually assaulted her. And I felt bad because, and I know it didn't happen. That's just her style. And I was angry with her because I'm like, this is going to make me seem like I'm the person who didn't believe her. And so that's what pissed me off, because I felt like in her doing that, she was coming for me personally. Because and my children know I'm the type, if they get molested, I'm the type that'll cut a man's jugular vein and watch him bleed slow. And they know that. Ooh. So they're very if something happened, they wouldn't have a problem with telling me, and I would believe them, because if you teach your children to stand on their square, you know, they should be able to come to you with straight information and no lie. And so this person that said that, she has a reputation of lying. So to continuously confront her about it, it angers her. She doesn't like to talk about it. She wants to, well, let's forget about it. Let's just forget about it. But she wants to roll in the same company. She wants to come to the house where my husband is. I'm like, okay, if this happened, why do you want to be here? So that she finally came out and said, well, I actually don't know who did it. It could have been you. Well, if it could have been me, that's what you should have said. You don't know who did it. And a lot of times in America, women have this thing with saying a man did something. And I know so many brothers who have lost scholarships, who have gotten kicked out of school.
I mean, Miss Muhammad, you got the brother in I think he's in Kansas, where he kissed the white girl. They went back home.
Yes.
They didn't no DNA, no penetration, no nothing. He still got charged for rape, but he's doing 6 years.
Right. So that's why I go hard on females with this lying piece. It cuts real deep here, especially with young black men. It's detrimental, and I mean, we have to address this on all fronts, because it's wrong for a man to take advantage of a girl, even a grown woman. It's wrong, and I know if it happens to me, something like that is, if you violate a child like that, you basically mess them up for life, because that's something they never get past. They may go on and go through life and have some peace, but they'll always remember that. But then there's a piece of them that'll have issues with every other man that comes in their lives. So in my opinion, men that do that, to me, that's worthy of death. I really feel that way.
Hold on, somebody in the chat room says, but that female you speak of, Dynas, is white. Listen, when I was Albert Wilson's age, I was involved. I was doing the same ish. So, you know, the brother getting 12 years in prison for something he didn't do. There was no DNA evidence, no evidence at all that she was penetrated. The rape kit came back negative. For him to get 12 years for that is wrong.
It is very wrong. And a lot of people say, oh, well, we've got DNA evidence. The justice system is better. No, it's not. We are, in my opinion, we are constantly targeted here.
Yeah, brother Michael. Well, we'll bring it back to brother Ogu, and then Michael, you can go ahead.
Okay.
Brother Ogu, you want to add something? Hello?
He's probably muted.
Is he still there? Brother Ogu.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you fine. I'm seeing a brother Ogu, but I think he's froze. Brother Ogu, you there?
Yeah, he's right there. I'm here, but I can't hear you very well. I'm here listening, but I can't hear you very well.
Go ahead. If you want to add something, go ahead.
Are you telling me to go ahead?
Yes.
Okay. I did not hear very well what other guests, what they said, because of there's a noise over here. But what I'm trying to say, we live in two different hemispheres, two different cultures. Back home in Africa, we don't have much because we are under colonization and suffering from mental slavery. My coming over to America is because of my parents. We teamed up. We don't have a government.
And the brother fell off.
Yeah, I think he fell off. Go ahead, Michael. Go ahead.
Hey, Dynasty. You see,
What's going on, man?
Oh, great. What's up,
You're real low again. We can barely hear you.
Oh man, my God, man. I think whenever you have more people in the chat, I don't know for some reason. I'm trying to use my laptop this time for some reason.
I don't know why I'm losing connection.
There you go. Now we can hear you. Now we can hear you. Go ahead.
You hear me or him?
You were getting louder.
Oh, me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I just want to touch on the issue of the rape thing. Like,
damn, I really want people to hear this. Like, you're real low. You got an earpiece or something?
Oh man, I mean, well, you know what? Let me try to put it up on my laptop. It might be louder on my laptop.
Okay.
Let me drop and call back. Come back, I guess. Right?
Okay. Come back.
Just let me try to just get with somebody else. Let me try to see if I can pull up on my laptop. You
know? Okay.
Okay. All right.
Let me ask you. Can you guys hear him, guys in the chat room? Can you hear Michael clearly the way he is? Just press 1.
No.
Can you guys hear him clearly in the chat room? Press 1 if you can hear Michael clearly when he was talking. All right, go ahead, Miss Muhammad. Go ahead.
When the brother said we live in 2 different hemispheres, that's true. But no matter the way you look at it, truth is the truth everywhere. If these people are doing some things that are not true, that are unjust, it shouldn't matter where you are.
Okay.
That's all.
Okay. Well, Dan, can you hear me?
Yeah, that's good. Go ahead.
Yes. Why I said that is because we don't, as I said before, we don't have much. We don't have much. We rely on each other. We don't have social security system. We don't have a governmental system, nothing. But because of our family bond system, we have. That is why these young girls, they don't have any other feature than what they have in the form of culture to keep them going so that they can go to the next level in life and be successful. But to these pastors, I can tell you, some, if not all, they are evil. I do hear a lot. People call me here from Nigeria. Ladies telling me, Pastor did this, and say amen. After this, the pastor will say amen. After this, you say amen. Holy Ghost, grace, all this rubbish, indoctrination. That is, you see, we live in Africa and we don't play with animals. But now I'm hearing that Africans are playing with animals. Who taught Africans that? Europeans.
Right.
Who taught them that? Europeans. And I'm trying to explain to you. Everything coming to Africa. Our people don't know this. All of them came from Europe. And our people ignorantly and stupidly embrace it, took it and ran. We don't know all these things. As I told you before, if you touch any lady without her permission in our village, you are going to be a dead person. There's no 2 ways about it. You're going to be born alive with tire. And they're going to get petrol. Somewhere there, boom, boom. The person is gone. And that is why we don't mess, nobody messes with them. You are saying about the government. We're having statute of limitation. Which government? We don't have a government in Nigeria. I want you to know that. So if we have a government, I know that.
Well, there is a government in Nigeria. There is a government.
Yeah, Buhari's president, right?
President by president what? What kind of president? You see, this is a kind of puppet government set up by the British for their own slavery benefits. I'm trying to tell you now. Aircraft, you see, they divided Africa into countries, they call them, and they pin us against one another. But Europeans fly into Africa. They fly to the bush. They stay in the bush 6 months, 3 months, and they fly out. What are they doing? Nobody knows. But they pin us blacks. We'll be fighting against a Ghanaian. A Ghanaian, imagine. We are brothers. Ghana, imagine. Exactly. We have a border. Cameroon, we have a border. Cameroon, imagine. We have a border. We are fighting among ourselves while the white man is drilling something from the ground and flying up. We have a problem. Not only this rape issue, we have a lot of issues, a lot of problems. We don't. Let me tell you, we're not educated like you guys here. Please, don't equate us with you guys. You guys are civilized.
You know what? You
Well
guys are
educated.
civilized too.
Everything. We are not. Our people are still backwards.
No,
We are just coming up.
come on, Mr. Ogu. No.
You can be
I'm telling you, you won't believe facts. I'm telling you facts now. I'm telling you facts. You won't believe it, but that's okay.
You know what?
I'm telling you.
Faith.
Yeah.
Everybody's reality is different. What's real for you may not necessarily be real for me. When you spoke of the culture, because all these girls have culture, well, you all were allowing those pastors to smear your culture.
That is not our culture. Our culture is not that. What they're doing is not our culture. What they are doing is not our culture. It's not our culture. It was imported. It was imported.
Who are victims, you all are allowing the pastors to smear your culture.
We don't have the strength to fight them back. We don't have the strength because they have the connections. If you talk,
you know what? When you say
you
don't have strength, you're right. You don't have it. But you know what? God works through people. God is not spooky and hocus pocus. If you're praying for food, it's not going to fall out the sky, man. You have to let him work through you to make the change that you want. So if y'all want to stop that mess, some of you brothers are going to have to get together and formulate a plan to stop it. God is not going to do it for you. You have to let him work through you to get that done.
I agree.
So don't sit and say, "Oh, we're not." Cause you guys are civilized too. There was one time in America where we were on the family system too. The government here has never had our back, but we were able to do certain things. You all can do the same thing.
Education.
At one point, we were in the same situation that you claim you all are in. We've been there. You got to do something to make it work for you.
Yeah, but you guys have the education. We don't have it.
But at one time, we didn't have education like this. At one time, we were where you all are over here in America. You got to set your mind to it. You have to come to the point where, you know what, we're not going to take this no more because this is foolishness. You all will have to come to that point. God is not going to do it for you. He has given you the tools to do it for yourself. So I guess people are going to continue to let their daughters be victimized and raped and founded. Y'all going to continue to do that? Man, I cut a man's head off with a machete. Y'all have to come with that mindset, because that's bullshit. Little girls grow as children, and I smile whenever I see children. I love children. They're so innocent. I have 7 children. I could not get enough of seeing these innocent little people. You all are toying with the innocence of these little girls. That should be enough to make your blood boil and go on a manhunt. You seen a little girl playing with her dolls outside with some other children? That's the most beautiful, peaceful thing you can ever see. Y'all better protect that. Quit talking about how we don't have the truth. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. God is within everybody. So, and if you're a Christian, it says in the Bible, you can do. Jesus said, you can do greater things. He said you can be as great as he is. You can strive to perfection. Like, no, nobody's perfect, but no. Jesus said in the Bible, you can strive. You can be perfect too. Y'all need to quit letting these pastors administer bullshit to you. Read your Bible yourself. You don't need anybody to read to you. Read it for yourself, for your own understanding. Everybody's understanding will be different. That's why you have so many different factions of religions. Somebody got pissed and they wanted this to be their way, so they started something different. Everybody's understanding will be different. You read your book yourself and you execute your life based on that. The pastor of the church should not be allowed to lord his view over everybody's damn household. Are you the man or not? That's your damn house. You say what goes on there, not some nigga down at the church. If you don't believe, he ain't gonna let you come up in his house talking nothing. Y'all better take your stuff back. I mean, and in America, sometimes in some factions we have to do it here too. But I'm a Pan-Africanist. Black people and everywhere, I don't care where you are, I consider them my people. So the same thing I say to you, I would say to somebody here.
Okay.
All the little girls in Nigeria that are getting violated, to me, those are my little sisters. Y'all not protecting them.
Michael, you wanna add something, Michael?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's better. Yeah, go ahead. Just go ahead.
Let me tell you, man, the biggest mistake Africans make.
Mike, we can't. Guys, press people on the panel. Can you hear Mike clearly?
No.
No, he's kind of.
Mike, you just real low, man. I don't know what they just holding your volume back. I don't know what it is.
Hey, guys, maybe I'm okay on my laptop. I'm trying to open it on my laptop, right? The first time I was able to open it, but then I'm not like when I click on it, it opens, but then it's not coming on. I don't know. Maybe you need to send me the link.
You got an earpiece?
No, I don't have one, man. The one I have is messed up. You know, I was gonna get one too, man, today, but
Okay, well just keep going. Just talk louder. You got to just put your phone to the mic. Maybe do this. Turn your video off and just put your phone directly. Put your mouth directly to the mic. Pause. But yeah.
Okay, let me do that.
Yeah.
So I'm turn the video off, man. Okay, can you hear me better?
Yeah, it's better. Go ahead.
It's better.
Okay.
Yeah. So let me tell you the biggest mistake Africans make. You know, they need to go back to the history and understand. The moment we turn our back on our ancestors, there was a hand of it. You know, there's a saying. I'm a Babalawo. You know, I'm a Ifa priest. You know what I'm saying, right? First of all, I'll tell you something. That lady that got raped, right, by the pastor, if she used to come to us, right, and that pastor actually did what he did, that pastor is finished, honestly. There's something they call the Iyami Ajes, you know, in our traditions, you know. Iyamis, you don't mess, if you understand the Iyamis, you don't mess with women. You don't even, I would not consider raping a woman. That I would not consider it because I know the spiritual consequence. In the ancient days in Africa, all these things probably we're having today, we don't have it. It's not possible, man. All these disrespecting women, you don't do that. We in the tradition, we understand the power of women, dude. A child raised in African tradition. We're not even thinking about raping a girl. We're not considering raping a woman. He knows the depth, the destruction that will happen to him. A woman, spiritually, are not people you mess with. Physically, they may be weak, but spiritually, you don't fuck with women, dude. Now, Christianity came, European brought all this bullshit, and this girl that got raped, if someone would have told her, hey, go to a Babalawo, the same pastor would tell her, hey, you're going to the devils, you know? You know what I'm saying? In Africa, we've been messed up by colonial bullshit. Europeans know what they were doing when they brought their stupidity, all this religion, you know, Christianity and all these things. They know what they were doing because they know they couldn't deal with us with us having our own knowledge, with us being Africans, you know. They knew they couldn't deal with us, you know. So they had to bring their own ideas, their own ideology, their own philosophy. So Africans are practicing it, and we're in a state of confusion, you know. You see, in Ifa, it's the same, you know, in the Yoruba language. When Africans started turning their back on their ancestors, turning their back on their tradition, Ifa said it. He said, hey, it means you all can go away from this tradition. Eventually, you are going to come back to it, you know. Until Africans realize they need to go back to their spirituality, African spirituality and being Africans, all this hell they're catching on their continent is just the beginning, dude. But one thing I can tell you is this. All these things that's going on with pastors and all these things, you know, hey, they know, if that pastor would have known that child, that girl he was about to rape was the child of a Babalawo, or he wouldn't have done it, dude. He would not have done it. He knew that, okay, this is a Christian, I can manipulate her mind, I can just open the Bible and just, you know, do all these things, you know. So, what am I saying? The man that said we are illiterate, we are not civilized. Our tradition is the most civilized thing, you know. The civilization, Africans have civilization. We became uncivilized when Europeans brought their stupidity to us and we started acting uncivilized. Africans somehow believe that Europeanism is civilization. No, Africanism is what original civilization is, you know. being an African, that's civilization, because we have philosophy that we live by that's way more powerful than this European Eurocentric ideology that we are practicing. We think Europeans are civilized. They're not civilized. If you want to experience civilization, go and live around original Africans. They practice African spirituality. The way they think, the way they reason, the way they believe things is completely way on a higher realm of reasoning. I'm telling you. Like, we deal with God. We deal with spirits. We deal with laws. The laws God used to create this planet. It's the kind of laws we deal with. So we don't just behave the way we like. We just don't commit crimes. Because we know that there's nothing hidden under the sun in African spirituality. There's nothing I can do in the dark. There are forces that are watching me. So I cannot go rape a woman thinking nobody's watching me. There's some energies I have to deal with. Some consequences I have to deal with. I cannot go steal and think nobody's watching me. There are spirits that are watching you, dude. You cannot, people that practice, they understand African spirituality, they just don't commit evil, dude. When you went to Nigeria, Falajiki was telling you back in the olden days, people that used to sell yam, they would put a yam on the road and put a price on it, and they'll walk away, and nobody would dare steal the yam. The person that's buying the yam will put the money on their plates and take the yam. Because not only you can look around and say, oh, nobody's watching me. There are spirits that are watching you, dude. Until Africans go back to their spirituality and leave all this stupid Christianity and Islam that this nonsense that foreigners brought to them, they're going to keep catching this hell that they're catching, dude. So that lady that got raped, she need to go see a Babalawo as soon as possible, honestly. That's what I got to say, Dennis.
Okay, real quick, let me read some of these super chats. Shout out to Ya Ankh Ra Akan. Bro, Dinus in Jamaica will chop rapists to death, yet the pastors doing it get to live. Why? Religion rules Jamaica. Even the government is afraid of the power of the Jamaican church. Pure psychosis. Let's see what else we got here in the chat room. Papa Malau, anything you want to add?
Yeah, when I was putting up my hand, I wanted to touch on the very first thing that Baba touched on there. Abora Aboya Bashishe.
Yeah, I go out though.
Thank you. Same be with you. And I was also going to touch back on what you were saying earlier, Dinus, pertaining to the pastors going to the Babalawos for charms and for things to enrich their congregation and to make money off of the congregation, and then turn around and preach about how evil it is and to stay away from the Babalawo and stay away from tradition and everything. And on the topic of rape, like I really was about to say, well, it's interesting that the same pastors that go to the Babalawo and no Babalawo Iwapwele or Iwarere is going to endorse that stuff, So I think sometimes the term Babalawo could be loosely used as well, because there's, medicine, Ogun versus, Ifa, right, Baba? Correct me if I go wrong.
Say it again.
Ogun versus Ifa, the medicine, the juju and stuff.
Ogun, yeah, Ogun.
Right, versus not the Orisha, but the medicine and, with the juju and the charms and all of that. So you have, the priests that deal with that versus the Babalawo and stuff. So my thing is, just like you were saying, Baba, is that it's so ironic that the pastors will go for this traditional aid to, aid them in what they're doing. But if only our people would apply themselves as much to go and do the same to arm themselves, then things would be different. Two, yes, where the Iami Aje are concerned, I just want to know how it is that, because at the end of the day, everyone, men especially, everyone, but in particular men, have to answer to Iami. They set the Odu, the order of the day. Odu comes through Iami, correct?
Yes.
Right.
Iami,
so Iami Odu get Ifa. I'm asking because I don't want to. I'm speaking based on my knowledge.
You're right. Go ahead.
Right. So we know that at the end of the day, out of chaos comes order. At the end of the day, we know that it is me that we all answer to, but especially men. I really hope and pray that the women and the girls that are being subjected to this treatment, who have access to this ancient spiritual knowledge and tradition right at their fingertips, will one day get tired of just taking it and going and taking refuge back into what we know our God, our spirituality really is. Because it's like we're supposed to be going to church to be saved, but you're being violated. You understand what I'm saying? But we know that we can go to our Babalawo and be saved. We know that it's not the Babalawo. The Babalawo works on behalf as a representative of Orumila and Odu Ifa, right? And all the Irumale and the Orisha. We know, we've seen, we've witnessed that these divinities actually save us. But we have this crisis going on where little boys and girls are constantly being molested in the church. You know, it kind of baffles me. It's very, like, what will it take for, even if it's just the women, to seek refuge in even our divine mothers, you know, the Iyami. You know, like I will chant Iyami Osuranga all day because I know the power of that. And I'm so tired of hearing these horror stories in places like Nigeria. And they continue on with, you know, it's like one thing after the next. But I would say that our mothers actually know, or our grandmothers actually know the power of Ifa. But you rather turn your back on it because you're listening to the same person that's violating your daughters tell you not to adhere to Ifa. Nobody can tell me that this is not, you know, witchcraft and spell binding at its best, you know. It's something. So
Mr. Ogu, is there anything you want to add?
Yes. What I want to add, in addition to other stuff that I've spoken, some of them I heard, some I didn't hear very well, is these pastors to tell you that they're evil. In the night, you see them in all these Babalawos, Ifa, all these African traditional religions. That's where they go and confess their sins. And if we can have a government and bring all these traditionalists to the open, they will tell you that all these pastors, what they have told them, the evil they have committed and atrocities. That is a certain point. But who is going to bear the cat? As I said before, we don't have a government. The government is set up by the British for their own benefit, for their own good. You can imagine up to today, Nigerian attorneys, lawyers, so-called lawyers, they are wearing white wig, showing respect for the white slave masters. So how are you going to meet them? People who don't even know that they are wearing slave masters' wig to bring justice to what? No. So I don't know how this matter, because it's too huge, too big in our country that people are afraid. These young women, they are afraid of all these people. And the worst part of it, that they respect these people. Whatever they say that is the word of God. It's not the word of God. This is a trash, a garbage man, a rapist. These young women, we believe them. When you tell them to run away, they will not. Oh, he's a pastor, man of God. Don't touch my anointed. Don't touch my this. Don't touch my that. These guys are not. As I told you before, they are not. They don't know anything about God. They don't respect God. They don't worship God. They worship devil, and they are rapists and thugs and criminals. All of them in Nigeria. Name one. I will tell you his crime, or TB Joshua, or Adibalayo, or tell me who there. I will tell you the crime they have committed. To the best of my knowledge, and I have women telling me facts. So it is clear that we live in a society whereby human rights are not being respected. Young women are being abused by people in authority and people that have the connections, because all these pastors have connections to the government. Do you know that? They have connections. So if you are talking about them like this one, Bosala case, I'm giving you 1 month. It will die down. And it will be swept underneath the rug, and it's over. Case closed. That's the society we live in Africa. Remember, Africa is a copycat. What you have in Igbo, you have in Yoruba, you have in Hausa, you have in Ghana. They copy and paste the culture. So you have it everywhere. And this same thing. Then there's one I will send to you. A Nigerian guy that went to Kenya. You know the church he established? Breast and Honey International Church. Touching women, sucking women their breast. That's the kind of church he set up in Kenya. Imagine.
Miss Muhammad, can you I'm trying to mute you, but because there's a lot of background noise. If you could mute yourself, let me know, because it won't let me unmute you, Miss Muhammad. I'm trying to get you back on. Hold on 1 second. Yeah, it doesn't have the unmute option. Shout out to the super chat. I think this is Kwesi who super chatted. Kwesi, most African leaders are Christian or Muslim, and that is the problem. The president of Ghana wants to build a $200 million cathedral.
Oh my God, man.
Can you hear me now, Dennis?
Yeah, I hear you now. Go ahead, Mr. Muhammad. If there's anything you wanted to add.
Yeah, I wanted to add just one last comment. And as a Black people, and to me, Dennis, I'm one of those people, I believe Black people everywhere are Africans. That's just, everybody else's idea might be the same, but for me, we're all African. But we are the most beautiful people on the planet. And if y'all think about it, we're different from everybody else. We dominate in so many different areas across the globe, and we are unique. If you think about all the things that we're involved in and accomplishing, we are a unique people. And I don't understand how we have allowed the Caucasian to put his hand over the whole damn planet. Mm-hmm. He has gone everywhere to spew this nonsense, and everybody is bowing to it.
White Jesus.
We have to think about this and decide what we're going to do. Because praying about it is not going to change that. I don't believe God works that way. Praying about it ain't going to do it. Marching and protesting, that is not going to do it. We have to decide what we're going to do to change this mess, because it's working for everybody else except us. We're the only ones under attack in all of this. Nobody else. So as together, I don't care what religion everybody subscribes to, because I know Christians say, I'm not working with nobody. You got to be washed in the blood of Jesus. We have to get rid of that. We have to let that go. Because we're African, no matter what religion you ascribe to. Of course, I have more respect for the traditional ones, but that's the only way we're going to come out from under this. We have to decide what we're going to do and move out on it.
Okay. All right. What we'll do, first of all, everyone, make sure you hit that like button as you come into the chat room. Once again, everyone, thank you so much for joining us. And we're just discussing the situation in Nigeria in regards to what's the young lady's name?
Busala.
Busala.
Busala Dakolo.
Right. Busala. In regards to her being raped by her pastor, and how, the pastor getting away with it, in essence, for the most part.
He needs to be beheaded.
Say that again?
He needs to be beheaded.
Oh, wow. Oh, yeah, well.
Dennis.
Yeah, go ahead, Michael.
If the pastor actually raped that lady, and that lady take the
Yeah,
case,
we can't hear you. Yeah, you got to speak up. You got to put your, pause, mic close to your mouth.
Okay, can you hear me?
It's a little bit better. Go ahead.
All right. So if that pastor actually raped that lady, and that lady take the case to Ifa, and the case to the Yamis, and that pastor's penis is not going to get up again for the rest of his life until it comes out.
Ashkeyo.
He's until he goes out and confess. I'm telling you, that's what's going to happen to him. His penis is going to die. He's not going to get up again until he goes to public and confess. I'm telling you, that's what will happen to him if he did it. Because like I said, the spirit witnessed everything. They saw when it was happening, you know. So we already have justice system in Africa before Europeans came with their own ideas, you know. We already had justice system. I don't go to, listen, man, when I do business with people, I'll tell you straight up, hey, I don't need to sign paperwork with you. Just take a oath with me, you know. I put salt in the water, put a metal in the water. Hey, let's take an oath. Hey, drink it. When the time comes, you start saying, "Oh, I'm breaching the contract. Take me to court." I don't need to take you to court. Yeah, you already did it. I've done it the spiritual way, you know. Hey, whatever. Let me tell you what happened, man. When I was doing business with this one white guy, right? Mm-hmm. We made an agreement and everything, you know. We agreed on everything. At the end, he didn't want to pay me the money, which
they can barely hear you. Mike, we got to get you a mic, man. But they can barely hear you in the chat. But go ahead, just speak up if you can.
Yeah. So this, can you hear me better? No?
Yeah, that's way better. Go ahead.
Okay, so the white guy at the end, you know, at the end of the whole thing, they want to pay me my money. So I didn't argue. So this other guy, white dude that know me now, went to him and said, you know, that man is the Babalawo, right? Hey, he called me and said, hey, you know what? Immediately found out, he wrote my check and paid me my money. Because they know. Even white people know. They know that dealing with Africans, the Africans that practice the spiritual system, white people are afraid of us. I'm telling you. They will not dare disrespect us. You know? They don't disrespect us. Anybody that know, even Nigerians don't come disrespect us. You know? Because they know that they're not people to be messing with, you know? Not because we're evil, not because we can just do evil to you. You cannot do evil to us and get away with it. That's the kind of people we are. We cannot do evil to you. If you do evil to us, we can get you back, you know? So people don't mess with us. Europeans, when they come to Africa, we are the people they don't even want to deal with, you know? They go deal with the Christians. That's why they rather. Did they Babalawo become a president of Nigeria? Our problem is over. Europeans are not going to be telling. You guys are having a Muslim president and Christian president, and the white man will come from Europe and tell them what to do, and they're afraid. What's the white man going to do? Me kill me? We in the tradition, we're not afraid of death because we believe the afterlife is a better place. Oru is home. Aye is just a marketplace. Oru is heaven. Aye is just a place we come to have experience. So we're not afraid of anything, you know. So if I become a president of Nigeria, you think I'll be afraid of some fucking French president or British president and be a puppet? Hell no. You know, I'm not afraid of these Caucasians, but the Christian leaders you have in Africa, they're afraid. They're shaking. You know, we want to do something. If the White House give me a call, I have to do exactly what they want against the will of my people. So at the end of the day, Africans need to go back to being Africans, the real people we were, the ancient people that built pyramids. Our ancient forefathers were scientists, man. Forget what they came to tell us that we are backward, we're jungle, we're living in bushes. That's a lie, man. Go study. They tell you the Socrates and all these people were the first philosophers. The Greek were the philosophers. All this philosophy in the Greek, all those in the Greek, when you study the Greek, Orumila was already ahead of all these things. Africa, this philosophy was already in Africa. We have philosophies, man. We have stronger, most powerful philosophy. But we've turned our back on these things and run to Eurocentric ideas and believe Europeans were the civilized ones, are the people we can learn from. When I came to the West, started living around white people, these people are dumb. I'm serious. You know, they're not civilized. So Africans need to they need to go back to who they were. People have turned their back on their ancestors. And as a result, their ancestors are angry. And that's why they're having so much problems. And the Europeans will spend billions and billions of dollars to promote evangelism in Africa, to make sure Africans remain, they eliminate the Africanism and turn Africans into Europeans, you know. And as long as Africans can be Europeans, you cannot be a better European than Europeans, and they will continue to rule you. But if you're African, they cannot be a better African than you. So every African, through our education system, they teach us lies from childhood. So they use our education system, which was designed by the colonialists, to brainwash us to all think towards Europe, to become Europeans. And as long as we all become Europeans mentally, spiritually, psychologically, You can never outshine the Europeans. You can never outshine a man in his own game, you know. So that's why they always demonize everything Africa, and want every black person in this world to think to be European. So that way Europeans can continue to be on top. But the day Africans will be Africans, 100% African, and be African in our own game. Nobody can beat us in our own game in being Africans, you know. So the problem of Africans or the black man is something people like us already know. We already study. We can see. We can see the big picture, you know. And that's the reason why they would do everything to prevent the diasporans from going to Africa. Because one thing everybody noticed that once the diasporans, once they get to Africa, they discover the African ways, they embrace it. Because you guys have lived with you guys are born in the belly of the beast, you know. You guys have lived with the Caucasians for so long. You don't want to be Caucasian anymore. You don't want to be Europeans anymore. You want to be Africans. So that's why they would do all these things to create a division between Africa and African Americans and Caribbeans and throw all these confusions in the mix. So that way we don't, you know, the ultimate goal is to prevent black man from becoming a black man spiritually, psychologically, you know, every way, you know. So we all need to start learning our history, where we're coming from, who we are, you know, and start demonizing African, being African, you know, whether it's our spiritual system, you know. So that's all I gotta say, Dennis. You know.
Okay. All right, Mr. Ogu, you want to add to that? And
then
we'll get ready to close out too.
Yes, he said the truth. We need to get ourselves out of mental slavery. Take over Africa. Right now, the slave masters are trooping in. Whatever they're taking from Africa, we don't even know. I'm saying the truth. The truth beat us. It beat us. But it's the truth. I'm telling you, we don't have that kind of education to know what they're digging from the ground. All Africa, all over Africa, they in the continent, I'm telling you, it doesn't matter in Kenya, Nigeria, Tanzania, South Africa, whatever. We Africans don't even know. They are robbing us blind. We are in total darkness. I continue to say these people, oh yeah, why are you saying this? Why are you doing that? Are you trying to believe in Africa? I'm not believing in Africa. You see, if you have an e-health, you go to your doctor. Better tell your doctor the truth. So the doctor will diagnose and know how to take care of you. For example, you have AIDS. You know you have AIDS. Tell the doctor you have AIDS. Or you have venereal disease. Tell the doctor you have venereal disease. So the doctor will diagnose you and find a way or find solution. What I'm saying here is the truth, so that black people worldwide can find solution to this mess in the continent, so that black people can take over Africa. We are rich, but we are very poor and hungry. Why should it be this way? That's what the question. Thank you.
Okay. Fafu Malau, what we'll do, we'll go ahead and start closing out. Anything you want to say in closing, Fafu Malau?
No, I just wish that our sisters that have access to real protection and to put an end to this over there on the continent, just one day take advantage of it. I mean, like, it won't be happening, and everything doesn't have to go to the court. There's the spiritual law and there's man-made law. And, you know, one thing I know about Ifa, most African spirituality or West Africa, it deal with spiritual law, and there's a cause and effect. There's a natural law and order to the universe. And if we could just tap into that, then things would be a lot better. I just know that these pastors wouldn't be getting away. Men in general who were put out in the public or even behind closed doors, they wouldn't, it would be a lot less. I just hope that people can get back to that. The mothers are real. You know, they're real. And yeah, that's all. Thank you.
Sister Muhammad, if you could unmute yourself. I mean, I muted you, but I for some reason it won't let me unmute you. So I think you can unmute yourself.
Okay.
All right, go ahead. Anything you'd like to share in closing?
Yeah, this was a great discussion. I always like your discussions, Dynasty. You know, they seem to be working towards a solution to problems and not just, you know, banter. But
Right.
Yeah, we have to find a way to shake the white man off. I mean, and to me, that's the best way to look at it. We got to shake the Europeanism, the Jesusism. We have to shake that off and start working towards a better us.
Mm. Thank you, Sister Michael. Anything you want to share in closing?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Okay. The one thing last thing I was sharing closing is this, man. When I studied the Black American community in America, and I can see a spiritual problem there. One thing I wish if every Black American man can understand this thing, this principle, most of the problem will disappear in the neighborhood. Any neighborhood or any environment where the women are not happy, there will never be progress in that place. I'm telling you, dude. It goes back to the poverty. Yeah. If women around you,
What is this?
if your wife is not happy, your house will never be in order. If the women are the secret to this world, I'm telling you. An organization where the women that work there are not happy, the organization will never profit. A neighborhood or a community where the women are not happy, I'm telling you, women are natural born witches. I'm telling you, their spirits. When women are angry in a place, you need to get out of that place, because spiritually, that place will never progress. There will be chaos. There will be destruction in that place. The reason why the African American neighborhood is so destructive is because the women there are not happy. African American men need to start finding way. Now, I'm not saying the woman you're dating. I'm just saying the women in the community. You need to organize them and find way to make them happy. You need to put their women first in the neighborhood. Once you set your women straight, I'm telling you, 90% of the problem in the African American neighborhood will disappear. I'm telling you, if black men in the hood get together and say, hey, we need to put our women first, make them happy, bring joy to their hearts. Trust me, you'll see progress. You'll see progress. Europeans know, they study African philosophy, they know it. That's why they come to the black neighborhood to create all these problems, and they do all this love and hip hop to degrade black women, so that way the black men will not respect them, you know. So because the black men, I'm not saying all black men, I'm just saying like things that's been fed to blacks in America is that the black woman is not something to respect, and the black man is not something to respect. So because many of us don't have enough wisdom, they're buying into it. So black are not respecting each other, and the law of paying homage to women and taking care of making women happy is not destructive. So we have a situation where women are not being so respected, you understand, in the black neighborhood, and the women are not happy. So spiritually, if women are not happy in the environment, there's never going to be, because spirit of women is very destructive. Women can be, anger of a woman is it's a very destructive energy, you understand? So because women are not happy in the black neighborhood, that's why there's so much destruction. That's why even the enemy can come in with drugs, can do whatever, because spiritually, their environment, the energy that should be putting things in order is being messed with in a negative way. So in life, I hope people can learn. Women around you, your mother, your sisters, make sure you do everything to make sure they're fine. Take care of them. In Yoruba land, go there. Yes. Oh, the women, we make sure the women are good, man. You know, I'm talking about in the traditional environment, not in the Christianized environment or the Islamized environment. So I think everybody should learn that if you have an organization, if you have a company, if you hire the women and make sure the women are straight. If you have a family, make sure the women in your family, they are straight. If the women in your family are happy, their family, you'll see progress. So I just want to throw that knowledge out, you know. People can understand
cool.
that. You know?
Mr. Ogu, anything you want to share in closing?
To share, I want us to come together as a people, as Africans, as blacks, to look at African issues, find a way to develop Africa, find a way to compete worldwide. And I believe we can do that if we agree. And if we agree to remove British stooges and coons that are all over Africa and France, France stooges and coons. But there's nothing we cannot do. We build our families, and the other continent would like to emulate our culture, rich culture we have. You know, not hearing all this type of disheartening news, raping a young girl in the church, raping this and that. We're not supposed to be talking about it. We're talking about how do we develop Africa, because we're not there. We're not there. We're still looking at the white man for everything. The white man says anything, we say yes, sir. I'm telling you till tomorrow. Imagine Nigeria cannot prepare a budget. The budget of Nigeria has to be prepared in England and signed off by the Queen of England. I'm an accountant. What kind of budget that I cannot prepare? Because of people in the helm at the top. They will not allow brilliant Nigerians to do this kind of stuff. They depend on the white man to approve Nigerian budget. Can you believe it? This is what is going on. You need to, when you go to Nigeria, try to go underneath, find out from common people like me. They give you information. If you go to the top, all those top people and rest of them, they're gonna tell you all cock and bull. What you get from the cock and bull is not the way Nigeria is. It's a lie. It's a lie. Like this pastor now, being accused, he's gonna be denying. But this is what he did. I know about 100 women, young girls, they are now talking behind the scene, and he's still denying. Imagine, same pattern, 1, 2, 3, 4 to 100, telling the same story, and you say it's not you. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Well, I hope God can help us to progress and take over Africa and develop it for our own good. First of all, take care of black people first. So this is all I have to say.
No, cool. Everyone, thank you so much for joining us. Make sure you go to Search for Uhuru on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, and Facebook. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, family, Dynasty Mirror, Search for Uhuru. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.